Peace and blessings, soul family. I love you all. Hope everyone's doing well. I actually just had a conversation with somebody the other day talking about bhakti, and specifically how bhakti actually even is found within the Western left-hand path. So we'll talk about these. This is will be considered for both the left and right hand paths, so both Dakshina Marga and Vama Marga. So these four types are spoken about according to Ramana Maharshi. So I figured that I would take this and kind of show how even in these Western left-hand paths where you see that there's a heavy emphasis on separating theirself from any sort of Western religion or worship, but I'm going to show how that is just been inverted. Instead of being an extroverted form of bhakti and love and devotion, it's pointed inward for the development, for self-deification and apotheosis. So the four types of bhakti, according to Ramana Maharshi, we'll start with some that are more common. So, in the Eastern tradition, specifically Guru Bhakti is devotion to the Guru, seeing the Guru as a manifestation of God and having a love and devotion for the Guru. So that's one type that's very commonly known. And the next, probably most common, I would say, in the world, and this is just my guess, but would be Ishwara Bhakti. So this is the bhakti to the formless God. So, in Western religions and Christianity and Judaism and stuff, it's this formless God. And in the East and stuff, you think of it as the Nirguna form of Brahman. So that's another really big one that most people know is the Ishwara Bhakti, bhakti of that formless divine. Then you have another very common, but the Ishta Devatabhakti. So you even see this sprinkled within some of the Western left-hand path. But this is a big one throughout the world too. So the Ishta Devatabhakti is your personal form of God that has form. It's like, so even within Christianity, their Ishta Devata, their personal form of God is Jesus, Yeshua. But then if you think about any other of the monistic or polytheistic stuff, you have like many different gods and goddesses that actually had form. So these are, Shiva's both formless and form, but these gods and goddesses that you can see an image of, you can actually look at and meditate upon, used for visualization. So these are Ishta Devata Bhakti of a deity that has a form. And then this is the much lesser known one, which was the main reason of making this video when talking about the Western occult left-hand path, and that is Atma Bhakti. And Atma Bhakti, Atma, the self, the soul, and this is devotion to one's own Atman. So development of the self through spiritual practice, self-deification, apotheosis, coming to understand the self as God, as an emanation of God. But specifically in the Western scene, it is self-deification. So bringing yourself up to the state of divinity, evolving the body-mind complex until it is seen as a reflection of the divine. So this is why bhakti is even, no matter what path that you're walking spiritually, bhakti is a major part of any spiritual practice, even within spirituality. How many times do you hear people talking about needing to gain and grow self-love? That is Atma Bhakti. How many times do you know of doing any type of spiritual practice where you are working toward evolving oneself mentally, physically, and spiritually? So any type of spiritual practice where you are working on yourself and you're building a level of self-love, that's Atma Bhakti. So that, and anytime that you're spending time with spiritual practices, you're putting that work in, whether it be meditation, hatha yoga with the physical practices, japa, chanting mantras, any sort of bhakti practice, just like puja. But anytime that you're doing something physically to level yourself up, basically, that would be Atma Bhakti. So, that was in the spiritual scene that has grown supremely, is the higher self is spoken of highly in the Western esoteric traditions, or also the personal daemon. It's that personal individualized aspect of the higher self, the higher soul. But I think that's about it for this video, but I just wanted to point to show that bhakti is important no matter what you practice. Even if you're on a what most would consider in the West left-hand path, is significantly different than what the Vama Marga, where left-hand path originated from. And it definitely, the left-hand path in the East basically is to break down any type of dogma or any type of basically, yeah, dogma, and to break the caste system, the idea that you have to be a priest or something to gain all this divine knowledge of self. But that's about it. I just wanted to talk about this Atma Bhakti and how anytime you're practicing self-love or taking time to devote yourself to evolving, that is bhakti. I love you all. Hope everyone has a blissful day, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace.